I love the fact that you're standing right there in Knoxville with the Space Needle thing right behind you. I love that.
I know, right? If I'm a tourist ever, it's right now.
Yeah, someone told me a while back you can actually play shows up in there. Is that true? A buddy of mine played a show somehow up inside there.
I wouldn't know, but it looks like it would be a cool place to rock.
Yeah, right. At least to rehearse. It'd be a cool rehearsal spot, if
For
anything.
real. I don't really like heights though, so I don't know. I wonder if you can see out, like from the inside. Can you see out of the
Yeah,
big goal? Wow.
yeah, that is true. I don't know. We need to check it out sometimes. I've often wondered every time I drive by it, I often think about that same
For
thing.
real.
Well, I got Jared Weeks of Saving Abel on the show right now. Dude, I know the big announcement was today. And obviously I know I'm going to edit everything to where it fits, but I know the big announcement was today. Super
Right.
pumped about everything going on for you guys. How's it feel? Like it's been a while. I mean, you left the band is 2013, correct? I have the date correct. It was 2013.
Yeah, yeah. It's been almost 8 years. Yeah.
Wow, that's a long time, man. And I feel like you guys rode high for many years. I know you're one of the main guys that formed the band in 2004, and you guys had a
Right.
lot of success through the years. Before we get into like today and everything, how did it feel when you left the band in 2013? Seeing the band go on without you, was there a lot of animosity, or was it a friendly kind of
No,
farewell?
no, it was a very amicable kind of decision that we made back then. Living life at a volume that high and fast and loud, had to take a break from that for a while, man. So we made the decision. They went on without me. We left things. We kind of just left them like, all right, cool. See you in a little bit, maybe, maybe not. And of course, it's like I said, it's almost been 8 years this went by, and recently, in the past few months, I mean, after a year like coronavirus and the isolation and all that, I just couldn't afford to have another year like that. So I started looking inward. What could
Yeah.
I do to change myself? And somehow it just led me back to Saving Abel and where all this started.
Yeah. I was wondering if that kind of played a role because I feel like the timing kind of fits that, this past year has been kind of wild, no shows, a lot of time sitting at home. I wondered if
Yeah,
that played a role.
yeah, it was really crazy, sitting there at home. Like all of us are coming out of this different. We all experienced it in our own way, but just sitting at home with myself, and my family, other than mowing the lawn and doing all the do-it-yourself projects my wife gives me. It just so happened. It just so happened that Jason and we still work with the same producer. That we formed Saving Abel with. And over the summer, we just so happened to started revisiting some of our old Shade of Grace songs. Shade of Grace was who Saving Abel was, Jason and I acoustically before Saving Abel. And we went back and started visiting some of those songs. And that's basically where we learned to write songs, is when we were Shade of Grace. And we got in the studio and we started re-recording some of those songs. And some of those songs are 20 years old.
Yeah.
So getting back in the studio and revisiting with him, reconnecting with Skid and with Jason. And before you know it, I mean, we already had half an album written for the next
Hey,
Saving Abel record. Yeah. So it all just kind of came back naturally. It's very seamless, very smooth. It was a great transition. It's just one of those things, the universe, lined this up for me and lined it up for Jason and I again. And I'm just pretty glad that it's pretty rad that I get to come back and re-experience this all again on the second time around. So, so we're
yeah,
pretty excited about that.
absolutely, man. How's it feel to sing the songs again? Because to step back into that, I mean, does it feel the same? Does it feel different? How's it feel so far?
Well, so far, my first show back is not till August 13th. So I've yet to get back on stage with them. Of course, I've been doing my own thing. So I have been on stage. I have been performing the Saving Abel songs that I wrote and that I sang.
Yeah.
I've been working with Nashville Cartel, which is another acoustic company that I work with. I do charity. I do a bunch of things that keeps me busy, but there was just always something I felt that something else that I was supposed to be doing. And like I said, we're hoping, that getting to experience this again on a second go time. I can tell you what not to do. I can't tell you what exactly to do, but coming back around on a second time, man, I think I got a little bit more smarts about me, should I say, with a sober mind, let's just say.
Yeah. It's funny how life does that. Then you go out and you see everything completely differently and spend time wishing we
Man,
did it that way the first time around. It's so funny.
yeah, absolutely. Such is life.
Yeah, it's true. And you guys have brought in a new drummer. I should point out Dave Matthews, one of my favorite drummers in town, who also has a very famous name, which is hilarious.
I can't, but this is great that you know Dave, man. This is so awesome,
yeah.
dude.
Yeah, I met him last year. He's a great drummer and a great guy.
Yeah, he was part of Jared Weeks in the band Criminals. He was part of the band. I was telling you that. So he's been my drummer for a couple of years. He obviously does other gigs as well. But when I first met Dave, he just kept talking about how big a fan he was of Saving Abel. And he couldn't believe it. I'm standing there right with him. And I was just like, this kid is pretty cool. Like something about me and this kid gel. It turns out he grew up about an hour and a half from Corinth, Mississippi, where I lived and where Saving Abel's from. So he just so happened to be a fellow Mississippian. And I think that we hit it off pretty good, man. He's such a young character in this band, man. And we're really hoping that he revives. You know, when you get that younger end that revamps everybody and we're ready to go back out, man. So we're pretty excited to have Dave on board.
He's got an energy about him. He really does. A very positive, excited energy that when I first met him, I was taken back by that, like how excited he was. Just the drum. I love that. It's great to meet people like that.
Dude, it's so great. He challenges himself. He's exactly the type of drummer and type of person that we want on our team. And I knew it. I said, if I don't grab him, somebody else is going to grab him.
Oh, absolutely.
And then once we started talking about coming over to Saving Abel, of course, he was freaking out. He's like, oh my God, are you kidding me? Are you serious? You're serious, right? So it's been fun watching him go through the changes and all that. As far as the photo shoots and stuff like that go, it's fun to watch him go experience it, you know, for a first time. You know, it's just, it reminded me of myself when we were going through all that back in the early 2008.
Dude, Jared Weeks of Saving Abel, the announcement was today. The band is back together. You're singing again. You got Dave Matthews on the drums. What can people expect, though? I heard Dave was telling me you guys are re-recording a lot of your hits. How was that doing that, singing the songs?
Man, I tell you what, hearing the younger Jared, the vocals, like in my ears as I'm re-recording these songs, it actually brought back a little bit of excitement for me, you know, because I was remembering who I was when we recorded those songs. And obviously they have sentimental values for me, but just being back in the studio, you know, I'm 38 now. So I'm wondering, can I even sing like this? Can I do this? And believe it or not, I got in there and knocked them all out. And, you know, after it was done, I kind of wiped the dust off my shoulder and I go, I knew I still had it, but dang, I'm good. No, it felt good to be confident going back in, man. It was a little weird though. We're doing we're doing our Essentials album. That's the one we're putting out. I think coming up in September or October. We haven't picked a date just yet, but we got our rights back on the, you know, Addicted, 18 Days. All of our singles, you know, we get them back from the record label. So we re-record them. We put them back out there. We've got 3 unreleased Saving Abel tunes that we're putting on that album as well, and maybe a new single or 2. So we're going to end up, awesome. I forgot to tell you, some of those Shade of Grace that we were talking about earlier. Yeah. We went in and we recorded 5 of those songs and we wrote a new single and we're putting that stuff out July the 9th. So that's like Friday.
Yeah.
So it's like, so it's like, hey, I'm Jared. I'm back with Saving Abel. Here's some new music. And we've also got an Essential album coming up in the next few months. And we're going to be touring with the Essential album towards the end of the year, you know, do some Christmas shows. I'll sing a Christmas tune. And then, of course, coming out in February of 2022 is the new Saving Abel album that Jason and I are currently in the studio writing right now at this very second.
That's awesome. Well, dude,
so that's what
I got to say, I can feel the excitement coming off you, man. It's great to see you excited about it and see the band back together. I love this. This is great.
I know. I got about as much excitement. If I was any more excited than I am right now, I'd be twins. So
yeah, I love that, man. Well, hopefully you guys have a Nashville date on the books soon, because I'd love to see you boys live. I'd love to see Dave live too. I've never seen him drum like with an original band. He's always doing those tribute shows. I can't wait to see him playing some original stuff.
I'm so glad that you know him, man. I'm glad that Nashville's like pumping their fist behind him, dude. I knew I made a right decision with him, man.
Dude, you absolutely did, man. You absolutely did. Well, dude, Jared, it's an honor having you on the show, man. Look for the new record February 22nd. Saving Abel's back. The announcement was made today. Congratulations, dude. Enjoy the ride, man. It's worth it. I love it.
Thank you so much. And I just want to say that because of the Buzz, 1029 The Buzz, I met my wife many years ago at the Buzz Fest. That's where I met my wife. And it's because of you guys. So thank you, man. I'm a father of 3 now.
That is awesome. But whenever you renew your vows, I'll become a minister and I'll come and do it for you.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Great. I
Great.
love it. Well, dude, we'll see you soon.